Hey guys, it's Dina here. I am back with some helpful tips on how to stay productive and motivated and really go for your goals and your dreams. So stick around and we'll get right into it. So the first helpful tip I want to talk about is getting enough sleep. So it may sound simple, but a lot of us don't get enough sleep. We're either on our phones all night or we're just like, I don't know, we get caught up doing something, we go to bed super late, and then we have to get up early for work, and often we don't have enough hours of sleep. Now, our brain can't do a whole lot when we're too tired. It's definitely hard to stay motivated and productive and really go for things that we want if we're too tired. So getting enough sleep is definitely something that's very important. I always make sure I get at least 7 hours of sleep, but I also really make sure I schedule my sleep time. I don't go to sleep at early hours of the morning. I usually get to bed, I would say on average about like 11 o'clock at night. If you have a habit that you find like makes you stay up super late, like to an unhealthy level, whether that is playing video games, scrolling on Instagram, whatever that may be, maybe try doing some other routine at nighttime just to help you settle down so you can get a good night's sleep, whether that be reading a book or doing some sort, or listening to a podcast, doing something that's gonna help relax you for bed. My next helpful tip on how to be more productive is to not take on too many tasks at once. So often we get too overwhelmed because we have this long list of things that we need to get done. And instead of just tackling one thing at a time, we just get overwhelmed and we procrastinate. We're like, well, I have so much to do, so I'm not gonna do any of it. But it's better just to tackle a couple things at once. So this kind of leads me into another tip in tackling the little things first. So make a list for yourself and put the things at the top of the list that are quick and easy, things that you're gonna get done super fast. Those tasks, at least you can get completely out of the way, and then you can start working on your other ones. Now for your bigger tasks, instead of getting overwhelmed by those tasks and just completely putting them off, it's better to take them in baby steps. So if you have some sort of little thing, a little detail that you can get started on, just so you're actually moving forward with your goal, your dream. So even if you're taking just a tiny little baby step, it's gonna make all the difference. So I'll tell you an example. So I've wanted to do YouTube for a very long time, but I've always procrastinated for a few different reasons. One, when I wanted to do YouTube, I was in school and I didn't have a lot of time. So I mean, that was a reasonable excuse, but I've been out of school for a while, so I definitely was still pushing it off. Second thing, I didn't have the equipment, camera equipment, all that stuff is definitely expensive. I needed to get a new computer as well because my laptop was way too slow, so I had to get a new one that I could edit on. And then my other excuse was honestly just I was just too scared to get started. But even though I had to wait to have enough money to get all those pieces of equipment, there were things that I could work on beforehand that I didn't really work on. I would kind of procrastinated. So instead of, brainstorming video ideas, planning out, doing research, I was just kind of sitting around thinking to myself, one day I'll have a YouTube channel, and I didn't really do anything about it. But then I finally just kind of changed my mindset. I'm like, okay, I want to do this. I'm gonna do this, but in the meantime, I need to get started. So that's when I got some journals and stuff. I started writing down different creative ideas that I had. I also started doing some research on YouTube. It's better to do something than to later regret that you didn't go for your goals or you didn't go for your dream. So my next helpful tip for preventing procrastination is to make reminders for yourself all over the place. So I have quite a few different techniques that I use to remind myself of the things that I want to do, whether it is a goal, whether it is a dream, whether it is a daily habit that I want to do. I make sure there's different things around me that remind me to do them. So the first thing is my whiteboard. So I keep a whiteboard on my wall, and when I was in school, I used to use it to write down main deadlines, projects, presentations, tests, all the things that I needed to remember. But now I'm not in school anymore, I use it as my goals. So I have quite a few different things on there, from remembering to work out or stretch every single day. I have a goal that I want to get into my splits by the end of this year. So I'm trying to remember to, you know, stretch and practice my splits every single day. I also have a little reminder for me to do things that I enjoy doing, but sometimes I get busy. I get caught up in my day, whether that be work or whatever, and I forgot to do them. So things like playing my guitar. I love to sit down and play my guitar, but I really don't do it super often, and I think I got out of the habit of sitting down and playing my guitar a lot when I was in school because I didn't have a lot of free time. I have a reminder to remember to journal, do some like self-reflection, really focus on my career goals and think about what I want to do. So I have my reminders there. I also have my agenda, and this is where I keep track of my daily things I want to do. This is a pretty busy day, but I write down like all the things that I want to do in the day, things I want to get done, and then I check it off. For some reason, making a list that you have to check off almost like holds you accountable. Like you look in your agenda and you're like, oh shoot, I didn't do this, and then it kind of forces you to do it. So I like to do that. I also have a little monthly reflection thing that I do at the beginning of the month, and they're things that I just want to do throughout the month. I start with my goals for the month. So on my goals of the month, my first goal is to have my YouTube channel up and going. So I'm still working on some minor details like my profile picture, my banner. My friend is designing that, and I'm still kind of thinking on which one I like the best. But goal is to have that up and going at the end of the month. I also want to have filmed and uploaded at least 3 videos onto that channel by the end of the month. So my last goal is that I'll live by the rules of the law of attraction. So this is basically just to remind myself to think positive, try not to doubt myself too much, try not to be negative about things, because negative definitely feeds more negativity, and I'm trying to be positive and really go for things that I want in my life. So that is something that I wanted to remember there. I also have a list of books that I will read. So I've already checked a couple off on my list. The first one was The Magic. I finished that. The second one was Ishmael, which I also finished. The third one is the Harry Potter, the 4th book. I still have a ways to go. Haven't been really good with that. I'm probably gonna read that a bit more today, but I've been kind of obsessed with like self-help books and like, I don't know, just like inspirational stories. So I've been taking a step back from my Harry Potter series, but I do want to finish those. So I'm gonna try and finish the 4th book by the end of this month. And then Life After Life, I definitely am gonna finish by the end of this month. I'm flying through that pretty quick. And I also have a list of places that I will go. So on my list was Sunnydale Park. It's just like a park around where I live. I went there already. I sat in the park and I read my book. My second one was Kensington Market. We'll see if that happens. One of the girls from my work told me about it. They have a lot of cute little spiritual shops and stuff there, she told me. So we're trying to plan a day to go down together, but we both work at the same place. So it's kind of like trying to figure out when our availability matches up. My third thing was City Center Dance. So it's a drop-in dance place that my friend Krista and I went to in Mississauga. We'll see. Money's a little bit iffy right now because I just spent a lot of money. So we'll see if I can afford that this month. I might have to move it to next month. My 4th thing on my list is go downtown Aurelia. I actually just went there with my mom for Mother's Day, so that is checked off my list. But yeah, so that's my little goals page, and then I also saved a page for the end of the month that says reflections on this month, so then I can kind of talk about, you know, what I accomplished, things that I would want to accomplish next month that I maybe didn't get to. On top of all that, I do have my goals / manifestation journal, and that's where I journal about like my big goals for the future and things that I really want to accomplish, where I want to be in so many years. So it's really good to take the time to really reflect and do that. And having like some sort of checklist, whether that be a written list or on your phone or whatever, it makes a difference. So I highly recommend that. So my next helpful tip on how to stay productive is to eliminate or cut down on distractions. So for me personally, this was social media, also Netflix. I love Netflix. I still have it. I do watch some shows. I was watching Netflix at an unhealthy level where you're literally binging a show for like the entire day and you don't get anything done, and that's just not where I want to be. So I've definitely cut down on Netflix, but I definitely find that cutting down on these distractions has made a big difference in how productive I am. So if you have those distractions in your life, things that aren't really getting you forward in what you want to like work on, then I would definitely cut them out or cut down on them. And it definitely takes a lot of self-control and self-discipline. It's not something that's easy, but once you actually get in the habit of doing that, it becomes a lot easier. So my next helpful tip is to get organized. And this makes all the difference because when your space is clear and clean, your mind feels clear, it's a lot easier to focus on the task that you need to do. So whether that be an office, whether that be your room, your house, wherever you have your workspace, it's really important to make sure it's not cluttered with a bunch of junk. So I find that I think better and I work better when I have the space to really do what I need to do. If there's clothes all over the floor, if my desk, it's on my desk, my vanity, but I usually do work there too. So if it's messy, if it's covered on stuff, I can't get what I need to get done. So I think that makes a big difference. If you're the kind of person who's very messy, maybe start doing like a bit of a cleanup, start organizing your space a little bit more, because it definitely makes a difference. And my last tip is just to really reflect. Ask yourself, how much do I want this? Whatever it may be. If you want it really bad, you'll make it happen. You won't sit on your butt and watch TV all day. You won't just scroll your life away on your phone. You'll make it happen. So really think about where you want to be in the next few years. Think about the steps that you need to take to get there, and then get started. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope these tips helped you, and I really hope it gives you some motivation to really go for what you want in life, because there's nothing like just sitting and watching your life pass you by, wanting and dreaming these things to happen in your life, but just like not knowing where to start. But as long as you get started on part of it, you'll definitely get to where you need to go eventually. So thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you like this video, make sure you click the like button and subscribe. Also make sure you turn on the little bell notification icon just to let you know when I have uploaded another video, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye-bye.